If I look like a wreck, it's because I'm wearing my feelings on my face. Oh man, what a week. It was so hot. And just really rough. 12 miles yesterday, over 11 miles today, and I'm whooped. But I have a commission and for a laser cutting job that I really hope I can do well on, and I'm looking forward to showing it and seeing if I can get it done here. It's Friday evening, and I want to start on it tonight so that maybe I can finish it up tomorrow and have it show the folks Sunday. At least a demo model that can then be get some notes for editing and revision if needed. Oh, I'm tired. I know it doesn't look like much now, but let's see what I can do with this. Any guesses before we go any further? After sleeping on this, welcome to Saturday, by the way, I had an idea. There are a couple things I didn't exactly completely like about how the first version turned out, although it's good. It was received well. Carol thought it was good, and she's really good friends with these folks. But I thought, maybe, what if I take out the line, like the little rectangles in there? The triangle will still be there, but it'll be just a cleaner look. And I also took out some of the little tiny cuts, interior cuts. There's one left here and some left here. That is cutting right now, and I really feel like I'm going to like this better. Now, this was probably not the final version because I found a piece of wood that is a little bit bigger. Let's see if I can do this well. And so I have a bigger size. Now, I haven't done all of the takeout on this yet because I wanted to see how this one turned out. But I think it's going to be good. Just about done. I think the cut is just about finished, and I can show it here. I'm kind of bugged with myself for doing a couple of demos because it's really specialized. It's not going to be for anybody else. But it turns out it's the right thing to do because I just found another of these little interior cuts that I missed. I didn't see it on the screen, and there it was when the cut went into the wood. So I'm going to delete that. So with that little error, man, that would have messed up a very, very nice piece of cherry maybe or something. And so I'm glad I found that. Let's take a look at how it turned out. Yeah, I got a little dot right here. But I think our cut is all the way through. It's dropped out here. It's going to hold it in place and then go ahead and get it out. Alright, I take it back. There's something holding on in this corner, and you can see that there's a little extra char there. That usually means there's some kind of imperfection in one of the layers or multiple layers. Maybe there's extra glue or something. It isn't wanting to cut right there. So I think I could probably get it, but I don't want to run the whole cut through burn one more time. Just wonder if I think I can get that out. Let me check. Yeah, there was just a little bit of a catch. Something in the wood didn't want to cut through that one little spot. Otherwise, pretty good. And let's see if we get this section out. It's kind of tricky with all the little curves. Yep, there we go. There it is. Yeah, I think I like this better. And I think I'm going to use this piece of pine so that I can make it about a third bigger. So we'll come out to about here and up to about here. Ideally, this would run the other way so that the grain, which almost looks like triangles, would go with it, but I can't get the width dimension to fit that way, and so we're going to do it like this, I think. But I think these edits were a good idea. More soon. Yeah, I'm very interested in comments you might have. Was it a good idea to take the rectangles out and the interior cuts? Let's see if I can show how the light comes through that. It's kind of interesting, especially if I was going to, lift it off of a base plate, maybe half an inch, and put some LED lights behind it. It might be kind of cool, but I think they want something more simple than that. All right, so that is with the interior cuts and with the rectangles. Here's without. And this is a little closer to the type of wood that I'm planning on using. So probably going to go ahead and stain these up too, just to give them an idea of what it would look like. Show it to them tomorrow and let them make a final decision, or tell me, no, I hate this whole complete thing. You have to do better than that. We'll see. I don't think they're very nice folks. I don't think that'll be what happens. We are in the process here. This, if you remember, is version 1. But I didn't realize that I had lines going through the letters. Totally unnecessary. And some of these little tiny cutouts were not necessary. And I wondered about the line work here, if these lines should stay or not. So we did a version 2. And there was still a mistake or two, like, believe it or not, that's a laser burn right there. That's a dot that I missed. It was really hard to find, but I took off the lines, and I kind of liked how that looked, and I also liked the fact that there was a solid back now, so that I could put a sentiment from the gift givers on there. But interestingly enough, the folks that are asked me to do this preferred the version that had the lines in it. So what I've ended up with is kind of a combination of the two. Let's take a look. I was able to get some of the cutout sections out after a few passes. I think that we're about done here, but the top was not necessarily cut all the way through yet. This is a little stubborn spot here as well. I think it's fine, but this is a little bigger than the samples I did, and I'm so happy that this pine board that I really, really hoped would work seems to be working. I don't think it's charred on the back. I'm going to have to find out, but even if it is somewhat, the front appears to be good. And so I like the depth. Let's see if I can get a good shot here. I like the depth that we're getting with this pine on the settings that I had. I ran the text twice so that it's a little bolder than the lines themselves. And I think I'm almost ready to be able to flip this over for the back side, but I may run one more pass just to make sure everything's cut through. I like how it's turning out. I'm very interested in your thoughts and comments as well. This is always the big risk here. Do I keep burning it to try and get through at the risk of maybe it not homing exactly right, or it charring on the back? But if I take it off, how much cutting am I going to have to do on the back? And at this point, I'm really not sure. Let's see. The only spot that appears to still be stuck is here. So I think I can just cut it out. Let's I've got other wood if I have to, but this seems to be turning out really well. I'd like for this just to be the one that works. Okay, maybe it was a concern that had already been resolved, because it looks like, I don't know if we can see that or not, it looks like it's already loose, or at least close enough that I can make it loose. Bottom's good. Let's go and see about this top corner, top edge. Oh yeah. All right, well, that's what I was wondering, and this is the point I was making. It's starting to char here and here. There's some kind of imperfection in the wood or something. It happens. And so if I kept trying to cut this one spot out, these spots might have become increasingly burned. So I wish this was a little more done, but this, I think, was the right decision. Where did I put my blade? Here. It is tough to cut around a circle, and actually I don't even know for sure where that is. Let's try to get these out while I'm at it. Well, that seems right. Maybe a little area there that needs to be taken off too. I'll check that. Same thing here. It burned through completely on the bottom line, and what that did actually was kind of cause the wood to warp up a bit so that the line was not cutting straight, and I didn't want to get that off too much. I wish this had cut through, because these are really fine areas. Challenging to finish out when they don't cut exactly right. Ugh. All right, I think that's it. That one's through. That one is through or not? Let's see. Turn it back over. Okay, one of them fell out. Okay, that came out fine. Now this front part, or this top area, is what I'm wondering about. And it doesn't look like there's much. It's right here. So that is kind of a big loop. It's about the shape that I was cutting. Let's see. Whew. It's a very key spot. Oh, did that take care of it? I can sand off the back if I need to. Yeah, we can trim that up just fine. Okay. Now, generally speaking, I go from one crisis concern to the next on these, especially with pine, because I have not yet, I need to, but I have not yet bought any stain prep, kind of a flattener, a tone that keeps from having too much contrast in the grain. That often happens on pine. So what I think I'm going to do is actually sand the back a bit and then get the sentiment put on here from the gift givers. So let me do that and come back. All right, thankful, blessed and grateful. I can say that no major damage or error or big mistake has happened to this point. I have not yet used the alcohol wipe that I usually do to try and get the burn off, because what I'm finding is with the pine, like other softwoods like the plywood, the moisture of the alcohol actually makes it sink into the wood. So, like, I don't know if we can tell here. Let's see if I can get it up closer. You can see the discoloration, like at Buy and under Unite, under the UN of United, and under the 4. That it would be good if I could get that to even out a little bit. Now, like I said, I don't want to cause another problem by trying to fix a minor issue, but we'll try just a little bit more here. Yeah, that seems to be making a positive difference. I should probably be using a brand new sandpaper circle, because this has some epoxy in it actually from another project I'm working on. If you've watched it for very long, you might remember I tried an epoxy maybe a couple of months ago, maybe longer, and I didn't like exactly how it turned out, so it's been set aside for a while to try and finish, while I either learn more or get more guts or just decide, whatever, let's just do it. Okay. Yeah, I think we're getting a little cleaner look here. The stain will probably take care of a lot of this, and I do have it's a golden oak, but it will darken this up. Not a ton, but enough that I think it'll look a little better than just raw pine. Got to remember to do the back first, though. Don't want to get ahead of myself way too often. Kind of sanding with the grain. I could use an orbital on it, but I really want the handheld control more, I think, in situations like this. Okay, let's see what this does. Yeah, maybe a little extra fiber in my Pepsi there, but I think that's all right. Just notice this has some browning on it that maybe I can get off. And I will probably still use the alcohol wipe. If for no other reason than maybe what's left it will even out, or at least spread it out in a way that balances the color somewhat. And I'll actually do that on the back first to try it out. I like to get this a little more down to the wood. Wow. That's one of the things I was concerned about. Yes, it would be more aesthetically pleasing, especially to a borderline obsessive compulsive perfectionist like me, if this were a little better centered, but it didn't ruin it, so the burn worked. So I am not going to stress over that a whole lot extra. Let me see if we can try this alcohol rub on this burn and see how much of a difference that makes. Got to be very careful not to knock any of this little stuff out. That's why I'm not going to sand it. it does help, and it does seem to work. One more time. I could have made the contact info bigger, but it's not about advertising here. It's about making a gift for some friends to pass on to some of their loved ones. Oh, yeah. Go a little closer. That came out okay. So I'll give this a little bit here for the alcohol to hopefully completely dry out, and then we'll try some golden oak. Gotta find some nitro gloves here. I thought I had some down here. I think they're upstairs. Be sure would be nice to get this mostly, if not all, done today, although just staining it might not be enough. I'm either going to probably put a spray lacquer on it or a wipe-on poly, and that might take a couple of extra days with the time I have to apply it and then allow it to dry. So probably going to be a couple days before we're all the way done. Okay, so I'm doing one of the test runs with the golden oak, and I think that's just about right for the pine. It gives a little bit of color, but it looks pretty even on this too. So what I'm going to do on the final piece is try to do the back first and make sure that that comes out okay. I think the alcohol has had time to dry. Oh yeah. Yeah, that grain's working just fine. I may just do a rattle can spray lacquer on this, because I don't think I've learned how to do the wipe-on poly very well yet. Yeah, my concerns about the grain effect were legitimate based on some of the videos I've watched, but this particular piece, as hoped, is doing real well with the grain. That's a nice glow. It won't stay that shiny, of course, but now this is kind of what they're talking about in those other videos, is sometimes there'll be an area where it just will be much darker than the rest, and that's why the primer is such a good idea, and why it would have been such a good idea if I'd actually had some, but I didn't, so we're going to go with this. This does leave me room to put a hanger there that can be hidden, so the placement, yeah, the placement works okay. I wish it had been over just a little bit more. Have I said that already? Yeah, I think I did. Something I realized rather quickly when I started on the antler last time was that I really need to have a mask. I was getting antler dust in the air, very fine particulate. I'm positive that was not healthy. So let me try to do better this time. Almost certainly trying to do too much in one day here, but this is how the stain is taken. My laundry's almost done, and oh, I see I need to clean this out. I used a paper towel. All right. Let's go ahead and put the golden oak on the front. Let's see how that turns out. I'm very interested to see if it splotches. I don't think it's going to. I hope not. Well, I forgot to hit record again, but here we go. A couple of things I notice. If I'm not careful, I can take a lot of the color off by wiping it pretty early, and maybe that's not a bad idea, especially where it's going to be a little darker. Not sure. I do like this color much better than the raw pine, though. I think this will have a look of depth and weight and quality that I don't think it would have had with just the pine look. And now I'm trying to decide if I'm going to put another coat on. I'm going to let it sit for a bit and we'll see. Well, the basement smells like spray lacquer, and the back has the first layer, or a couple layers, and it looks like it's fairly smooth. So I think I'll leave this for an hour or two. I'm going to go ahead and make the video. It won't be all completely done, but I'll leave it for an hour or two, and then I will try to do the front. I think it's turning out all right. Hey, thanks for watching, by the way. I thought I was going to have to wait, but that stuff dries very nicely, very quickly. So I don't think when it's dry it'll have this kind of shimmer to it, but there is kind of a glow. And it'll have to dry before I can know for sure if I need to do more coats, do a little sanding, whatever. But I think it's pretty even from what I can see. And it'd be great. Yeah, I didn't get it down in the grooves very well. Can't really do that without really splotching it up. But I think that's might be done by tomorrow. That'd be great. So we went from this backwards, went from this to this to this, and the hanging bar can go on tomorrow. May God richly bless this marriage. And you. Blessed and grateful. Thank you.